You have $1,000 saved. Now what? Most people don't know, so they keep it in a savings account earning 0.01%. Meanwhile, rich people put it into 3 specific investments that earn 10% per year. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly which 3 investments those are and why 99% of people don't know about them. Here's what most people believe. Investing is complicated. You need to understand stock charts. You need to pick individual stocks. You need to time the market. So they don't invest. They leave their money in a savings account, or they keep it under the mattress. But here's the truth. The 3 investments that build 99% of generational wealth are actually simple. So simple that a teenager can do it. In fact, the more complicated you make investing, the worse you perform. Studies show that people who try to pick individual stocks underperform the market by 3 to 5% per year. That's $300 to $500 per year on a $10,000 investment. Over 30 years, that's $150,000 in lost wealth from trying to be smart. The irony, the smartest investors in the world recommend the 3 simple investments I'm about to show you. Warren Buffett recommends them, Ray Dalio recommends them, every financial advisor recommends them. But most people don't do them because they seem too simple. They think there must be something more complicated that makes more money. There isn't. The 3 simple investments are the ones that make money. Investment number 1. Index funds. An index fund is a collection of hundreds of stocks bundled together. Instead of picking individual stocks, you buy the entire market. The 3 most popular index funds are VOO, Vanguard S&P 500. This owns the top 500 companies in America. VTI, Vanguard Total Stock Market. This owns the entire U.S. stock market, 3,500 plus companies. SPY, SPDR S&P 500. Same as VOO, but from a different company. All 3 own basically the same companies. All 3 have returned 10% per year on average for the last 30 years. Here's why index funds work. Reason 1, diversification. You own 500 companies. If one fails, it doesn't matter. Reason 2, you own the winners. The top 10 companies, Apple, Microsoft, Google, Amazon, Tesla, Nvidia, Meta, etc., are all in these funds, so you automatically own the winners. Reason 3, the fee is tiny, 0.03% per year. That's $3 per year on a $10,000 investment. Compare that to a financial advisor who charges 1% per year. That's $100 per year on the same investment. Over 30 years, that 0.97% fee difference costs you $200,000 plus in lost wealth. Reason 4, you don't have to think. You buy it once, it grows for 30 years, done. Here's a real example. You invest $500 per month in VOO for 30 years at 10% return. Year 1, $6,000 invested. Year 5, $39,000 balance. Year 10, $110,000 balance. Year 20, $460,000 balance. Year 30, $1.4 million from $500 per month and 10% average return. Investment number 2, real estate. But not what you think. Most people think real estate means buying a house to flip it or becoming a landlord. That's complicated. That requires capital. That requires management. The simple version, buy a house to live in. Here's why this is an investment. Your rent goes to your landlord forever. You build no equity. Your mortgage goes to your bank for 30 years, then the house is paid off. You own an asset. Let's compare. Renter pays $1,500 per month in rent for 30 years equals $540,000 spent, owns nothing. Homeowner pays $1,500 per month in mortgage for 30 years equals $540,000 paid off, owns a house worth $500,000 plus. Same payment, completely different outcome. But here's the secret. The house also appreciates. Average U.S. home appreciation, 3% per year. $300,000 house appreciates 3% per year for 30 years equals $700,000 plus house. So the homeowner paid $540,000 and owns a $700,000 asset. They made $160,000 in profit just from appreciation. Plus, they built equity from paying down the mortgage. Plus, they have a place to live, something renters always need to pay for anyway. The mistake most people make is they think they can't afford a house. But if you're paying $1,500 in rent anyway, you can afford a $1,500 mortgage. The only difference, down payment, usually 10 to 20% of the house price. A $300,000 house requires $30,000 to $60,000 down. This takes time to save, but it's possible if you follow the surplus formula from video 10. Save $500 per month for 10 years equals $60,000 down. Real estate appreciation plus mortgage payoff plus living in the house equals generational wealth. That's why most millionaires own real estate. It's a wealth multiplier. Investment number 3, yourself. This is the most important investment, and it's completely free or cheap. What does it mean to invest in yourself? Education, skills, knowledge. The highest ROI investment is always education. Why? Because education increases your income. Here's an example. Person A earns $40,000 per year, stops learning. After 30 years, still earns $40,000, hasn't grown. Person B earns $40,000 per year, invests $500 per year in online courses and books. Year 1, learning Python, still earns $40,000. Year 2, can code, gets job offer for $60,000. Year 3, earns $60,000, invests in advanced skill. Year 5, earns $100,000. Year 10, earns $150,000 plus. Same starting income, different trajectory because of education investment. The $500 per year in courses paid for itself 100 times over. How to invest in yourself? Online courses, Udemy, Coursera, LinkedIn Learning, $10 to $100 per course. Books, $15 to $30 per book, massive ROI. Podcasts, free. YouTube, free. Mentorship, $0 to $1,000 per month. Worth it if you find the right mentor. The goal is to become so good at your skill that you become irreplaceable. When you're irreplaceable, you can demand higher pay. Most people don't invest in themselves, so they stay replaceable, so they stay poor. This is the biggest wealth gap, people who learn versus people who don't. A person earning $60,000 who invests 10 hours per month in learning will eventually out-earn a person earning $100,000 who doesn't. That's the power of investing in yourself. So, here's the complete wealth building strategy. Investment 1, index funds. $500 per month earning 10% per year. Investment 2, real estate. Save down payment, buy house, earn appreciation plus equity. Investment 3, yourself. Invest $500 per year in education to increase income. Most millionaires use all three. They invest in index funds for passive wealth. They own real estate for long-term appreciation. They continuously invest in themselves to increase income. Here's a real timeline. Year 1, save $500 per month in VOO. Save $500 per year for education. Can't afford house yet. Year 5, VOO balance $39,000. Got better job from education, $50,000 to $60,000. Save for down payment. Year 10, VOO balance $110,000. Bought house $300,000, paid $60,000 down. Education helped get $100,000 job. Investing in yourself paid off. Year 30, VOO balance $1.4 million. House worth $700,000 plus. Career income $150,000 plus. Total net worth $2 million plus. This is generational wealth. Started with $500 per month surplus and willingness to learn. Most people don't do this because they think it's complicated, but it's actually the simplest path to wealth. Boring, simple, effective. Here's what I want you to do this week. Open a brokerage account, Fidelity, Charles Schwab, or Vanguard. Buy your first $100 of VOO, VTI, or SPY. That's it. one action, one investment. If this video helped you, drop a like and comment which of the 3 investments are you going to start with. And subscribe because the next video is about the exact mistakes people make that destroy their wealth. The 3 investments I showed you aren't secrets. Every rich person knows about them. The difference is, rich people do them, poor people don't. You now know. The question is, will you do? Let's go. Most people don't believe this is possible, so they don't do it, and then it doesn't happen for them. Index funds are boring, but boring builds wealth.